one. There we go. So I think if it's straight up 6 o'clock, Jaime, and I always try to be super, I've been on here since 5:50, you know. I'm a little weird about my schedule, but if we give people just a few minutes to come on and then we can get started.
That sounds great.
Just hear from you. I'll do a little introduction because I think most people are really familiar. And I do want to mention to everyone about the Her effect. So not only is Jaime the founder of Herbal Alchemy, but she also has an amazing podcast that I have shared with a number of people called the Her Effect, and what the pillars of beauty and just her philosophy just resonate through the Her Effect. And that doesn't mean whether you ever join us as a customer or an alchemist in this company. I truly believe that the Her Effect is just almost like the pillar or the foundation from where Jaime has built her entrepreneurial spirit. And you certainly want to go into Apple and listen to that podcast. I know when I drive out of town, I listen to all of the episodes. So I have some kids that go to college far away, and every now and then, at least once or twice a year, I drive all the way to Milwaukee, which is 9 hours, or all the way to North Carolina, which is 14. And Jaime is chiming in my ear, but it is an amazing thing to listen to on the road. So I would highly encourage you to tune into the Her Effect as well. And we're excited to have Jaime tonight share with us just the amazing goodness of Herbal Alchemy and share her story. So those of you that do hop on a little bit after the hour, this is completely recorded. It will be uploaded into our group. You'll be able to share it out with people that can't make it tonight. And I want to assure you that I can see the icon. It is actually being recorded right now. So I want to turn it over to Jaime because she's the person you want to listen to, and just thank her for taking her time in the evening when she is a mom of 5 boys that are amazing young men, and just really hear her heart and vision for our company, where we want to go. And here's Jaime Cross. So I will mute myself.
Thanks, Mary. Ladies, it's so great to be here. And I see some familiar faces. We've got Jennifer on here, Jennifer White, Samantha, and I see Abby on here. So great. And Mary, just thank you for hosting this and for inviting me in. And some of you ladies, Jen, Mary, Samantha, Abby, you guys have been here from the very beginning. So you've watched this journey from pre-launch, all the way into where we are right now, 2.5 years after our pre-launch. But I would love to know, Stephanie's in here too. Great to see you ladies. Who here is brand new and has never heard the story before? Just type in so I know who I'm talking to. And then really where you're from too. Brooks on, I see you. Okay. Yes, good to see you ladies. Yeah, if anyone here is brand new and you've just never heard the story, just type in new. And I'll share, where we've been, what we've been working on for the last 2.5 years, really for the last almost 13 years as a business. And I think the most important thing is where we're going. And also just the season that we're in, and all of our founding ladies here know that we are in the pioneer stages of this business as a 2.5-year-old social selling model. But we started all the way back in 2010. It's interesting. I was just talking to a woman today about what happened with the real estate crash back in 2008 and 2009. And I had forgotten about that. I'm like, you know what? That was such a painful season for me. And I know for so many families, but that was ultimately the catalyst for change, because I just couldn't, imagine staying in this place if we had to make all these changes in our family. I'd given up a banking career to stay home with our new baby. And so 2.5 years into full-time motherhood, I was just hungering for more. And it sounds like everyone here has heard the story. And I'll just kind of put it out there one last time. If you haven't heard the backstory, just type in new so I know. But we're 13 years old this year. And it was back in 2010, seasons of just, I remember new mom, Nathan's bringing home like $2,500 a month as a teacher and a coach. we were struggling financially, but
Oh my God.
so many moms struggling in their soul more
Dad,
than
do we need to go?
actually, and I'm hearing some noises here. I'm just gonna keep going though. So I one night, just in a season of total, like, I remember our utility company calling saying, "What are you going to pay your bill?" And my debit card declining at the grocery store, and just thinking, okay, this is not what I imagined our life to be when I got married and when we started our family. And so I cried out to God one night and just said, in all my tears and all this pain, just, Lord, show me $1 billion idea so that I can change the world and leave a legacy for my family. And went to church on Sunday. Our pastor stopped the sermon and came to the edge of the stage, and he just said, this has never happened to me before, but the Lord just spoke to my heart and said that there's a stay-at-home mom here who he wants to give $1 billion idea to, so get ready for it. And I still get emotional 13 years later when I tell the story, because I was in a season of desperation. And when I look back now, I'm like, man, one of the reasons I decided to go into social selling after doing e-commerce and all these different seasons for so long was because I wanted to be able to give the same choices that we've had and give that same power to other families to be able to do the thing that they're called to do. And so our pastor, 13 years ago, and I just remember being like, sitting in the audience thinking, Lord, it's just pick me, crying out to you, like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, whatever you say to do, I'll do it. And whatever you give me, I'll be faithful with it. And I just studied for a year, started learning how to formulate botanical skincare and do infusions. And over the course of years, became an herbalist and did farmers markets for 4 years, which is really where I learned what people really want and what they really need. And I went back to the drawing board with my formulas, and we'd have Olympic athletes coming to our table saying, can you help me with this problem? And moms who had kids with severe, breakout prone and had been struggling with acne, and, parents, I remember moms being like, my son's in college and he's on this heavy medication so he could sleep through the night. And so Sleep Bomb was born, and all this stuff I was developing was because I wanted to solve problems. And man, within a year of doing all of that, we had so many the farmers market could be practically empty, and there were always lines at our table with people and regulars just coming back over and over and over again. And even now we have a 72% repeat purchase rate, which is really big in the products world. And I know there's something we've really focused on is making the best in the world. Whatever we're doing, we're going to be the best in the world at. And that was my commitment to the Lord all those years ago, is that whatever we do, we're going to do it. We're going to be the best, and we're going to be number one. And so fast forward here, now we are in 2023, which is so crazy to think that we're already almost into April. What's happening? The older I get, it seems like the years go by so much faster. What in the world? But our business so back in 2020, I knew it was time to grow again. We had scaled to really big online very fast. We grew to be a 7 and then an 8-figure brand in 6 months, and then in less than 2.5 years. And just started making it, becoming a household name. I remember I'd have friends who were like, I was on an airplane to New Mexico, and a lady 3 rows back was using your lavender lotion bar. And so we were getting so much traction. And again, in 2020, it was like, let's grow again. And the more I researched the network marketing, social selling business model, the more I fell in love with it. And I'd been in network marketing years prior. Nathan and I had done that and we loved it, but understanding what it means to be a founder of a social selling model and the kind of opportunity I wanted to create. And I remember traveling around for 90 days, flying all over the country, just doing interviews and talking to logistics companies and all these different experts. And I was reading this book. It was a global survey on the industry of network marketing. And there were a couple of things that I discovered that were just so powerful. One of them being that network marketing thrives in economic downturn. And it's been over 100 years now that network marketing has been around. That it's a model for servant leaders. You know, in order for anyone to win, you have to help other people win. And I love that part of it. And there was something that this author had written in his book, and I was at the end of my like research period. He said, you know, network marketing is the most powerful industry on the planet because everyone can win. But people have kind of come along and messed it up. But if there was a leader who would restore this industry back to what it was originally intended for, it would be a force on the earth. And that's what I said yes to. And so it was like, I slammed the book shut and I was like, yes, let's do this. And so very quickly, you know, we had, you know, Mary and Jennifer and Samantha and a lot of the ladies that are here hear about what we were doing, and they were all in with their yes. And I just think about the power of yes, especially in the early seasons, you know, when you're in the pioneer phase of starting a new thing, because we're in the season of building the model, right? Of most companies you see that have already made a name for themselves, they're already doing billions and they already have infrastructure, but we've been building that with our tribe together. And so we've laughed together, we have cried together.
There's a Waldo's chicken
We
right
have,
behind Tiny Hats or whatever, Little Hats. You know, have you seen that? Waldo's
I
chicken?
haven't been over there.
It's-
okay.
I don't usually eat out.
Could everyone mute, please? Because, okay, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. We've all laughed together, we've cried together, we've thrown our laptops out the windows together. We have, but we have triumphed. And truly, one of the greatest things is that we are, in all the data, we are one of the fastest growing social selling businesses in the world. We are positioned in the clean. So we're actually not, we're in a completely different category, you know, especially after 2020, more than ever. People are looking for solutions in the natural world. And 10 years ago, chemical skincare and you know, skincare that wasn't necessarily natural, or maybe they were starting to use natural ingredients, wasn't growing like it is today. More and more people are looking for solutions in the natural world. And what's so amazing about what we're doing and how we're positioned is we are positioned to be number one and to keep growing the way we are. And so we have, I'll talk a little bit about our products, and then I want to share a little bit about just the industry. And actually, let me just pull up some of my data here for you guys. But we started off as a body care product, waterless. Waterless is really an ancient principle in beauty that has prevailed over thousands of years. You know, ladies, the queens of old would pour oil on their skin and scrape their skin. And so we keep our products waterless for a couple different reasons. If I could really sum up what we do, it's really concentrated botanicals. And so we make these concentrates that have no water, no fillers. We're not having to use preservatives, emulsifiers, stabilizers, which is what water actually requires. So if you look at your skincare right now, I just would challenge all of you to go do an audit in your bathroom with your makeup and your shampoo and your conditioner and your body washes and all the products that you're putting on your skin, which, by the way, your skin is not wallpaper. It's living, it's breathing. Everything we put on our skin ends up in our bloodstream, whether you're breathing it in or whether it's going onto your skin. If there's water in it, then it's doing two things. One is water attracts water, just like oil attracts oil. So if you've never, you know, cleansed with oil or done anything like that, it's really amazing for your skin to do it that way. But water attracts water. And what it does is when you use water-based lotions or water-based products, it's drawing moisture out of your skin and releasing it to the air. That's why people feel dehydrated. You're having to use your lotion over and over and over again. Also, water requires a stabilizer and a preservative because water is unstable, and it requires emulsification. So the blending of oil and water together. So when we craft our products, all handcrafted here in Tennessee, in our own facility. Part of our vision is to control our entire process. We're actually getting FDA compliant here over the next 6 months so that we can continue making all of our own tinctures in-house. But we currently make 100% of all of our own botanical concentrates and skincare. And the testimonials are amazing. Mary and a lot of the ladies here could share stories about what happens when you start using real ingredients. And so people talk about clean and pure and natural, and I think that's all of that is really wonderful, but we've actually always been in more of the living category. So not only is our stuff clean and pure, but it's also alive, what we would call high vibrational, which I think sounds a little, I think it's just starting to catch on, that term. But when you think about getting a box of crackers that maybe have an organic stamp on it, or maybe it says non-GMO, well, that's more indicating what's not in the product. Maybe it's pesticide free or herbicide free or toxic chemical free, but it doesn't actually indicate how alive the product is. And so your body is a machine. It's like a computer that reads a code. And when we feed it things that it doesn't recognize, it just builds up as toxin. And so we end up with wrinkles and spots on our skin and hair loss. And we end up with hormonal imbalances and all of these things because we're feeding our bodies stuff that it doesn't recognize. And so our whole mission is to continue building product lines that are raw, cold pressed, straight from the earth. We've partnered with farmers all over the country, and we, as a brand, actually own our own farms. And so we're beginning to develop our own herbs and all of that good stuff. So I just want to pull up some interesting facts for you all that I think you'll really enjoy hearing.
And I did make you a co-host, Jaime, so you can screen share.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. Present. Okay. Zoom. Share my screen. Oh, that didn't look like what it was supposed to look like. Nope. Sorry. Hold on. I just pulled it up. This always happens when I'm when I'm doing these acts. Just a second here. Okay, there it is. All right. I'm going to share my screen first and then do that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So this idea of what happened when 2020 happened, and where the market is beginning to shift. I'm just going to share some data with you here, but trends are showing that mindset is transforming, that vanity is overshadowed by well-being, overall well-being. So people are starting to actually think about, okay, not only do I want to take care of my skin, but I want to take care of my whole body, protecting against aging, and aging with grace is top of mind for women and men, which I think is a beautiful thing. The more we can support our body's natural healing processes, the better. This idea of skin minimalism is a trend that's not going to go away. And I believe it's because it goes back to truth. It goes back to ancient wisdom, right? I don't know what just happened. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Just 1 second.
Yeah, and I could not see anything on the screen, Jaime, just to give you feedback. It
Great.
just is white on mine. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Can you see that?
I'm not seeing anything. And I don't know if anybody else wants to unmute.
It says your screen share is paused. Is that something that you can unpause?
Let me go to you again. And
oh, that's why. Okay, it went away because you're offering me the co-host, I think.
yes.
It's blank for me too.
Okay.
And mine, I can make you the host instead of co-host, but mine, and my only options are make host or withdraw.
As soon as I go to my big screen, it pauses the sharing.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, I can keep reading.
Yeah, my apologies, Jamie.
I think it's, let me just try this one last time. Can you see that?
Says you are viewing Jamie Cross's screen, but it is still blank for us.
No worries. I will just, I'm just going to read to you guys all the data. Okay, so natural and organic products industry was very impressive with 259 billion in 2020, which is an increase of 12.7% and a projection to surpass 300 billion US dollars by 2023, which is a really big deal. Okay. Also key are disruptive ingredients that tell a story and traceability. So sustainability of packaging is another marker. 55% of US beauty users are very concerned with the environmental impact of the brands and products they use. You know, it's important that we're stewarding the earth well. That's why we use glass and recyclable materials and all of that good stuff. Let's see here. And then the final, I love this information here. The pandemic shifted the beauty landscape and women are refocusing on their health, radiance, and longevity more than ever. So the global clean beauty market has grown from 5.4 billion in 2020 to a projected 11.6 billion by 2027. And natural skincare alone represented 6.7 billion globally in 2021, with the US market sales of 1.5 billion in 2021 and projected compound annual growth rate of 6.6% through 2029. So in other words, this whole natural skincare, natural beauty, natural wellness category is not slowing down. And I know 10 years ago when I was at the farmer's market, people would tell me all the time, natural products don't work. How many of you guys have said that or you've heard it before? And that what people are asking for, that whole narrative is shifting. And so I just think about what we've done for the last 13 years, and man, we are primarily positioned to continue taking market share. And something I always share with our ladies is that I didn't get into this to be number two. It doesn't mean that we don't have growing pains. It doesn't mean that we're not figuring things out as we're growing. It's interesting because it's a moving target when you've got rapid growth. And then when you've got 3,000 people that are coming along with you as ambassadors, you know, we're in a journey together. So, so the future of the product lines, we have always said that we would dominate in home health and self. And that is everything from home cleaning products and laundry to body care and beauty products. And then also something I'm very passionate about is beauty from the inside out. So, you know, nutritionals that are actually speaking the language of your body, tinctures, ancient wisdom, ancient herbalism, raw food powders that are, you know, activated and active in nature. And so, you can actually do frequency tests on a lot of these powders that are out there on the market today and see that they have no life in them. So they might be organic, but they also might be very dead. And so the idea is if we can continue to just create these incredible botanical concentrates and nutritionals that are living and active, so that when we take them, guess what happens? As a brand, we believe that the body is designed to heal itself. And it's not products, it's not skincare, it's not medicine that actually heals the body does that itself. And so our job is to remove the blockers, you know, start paying attention to what you're putting on your skin, what you're using in your laundry room, what you're breathing in, right? What you're putting on your face and using in your hair, all of those matter. And guess what happens though, is you'll start to notice transformation, even in things like weight balance, hormone balance. Those kinds of things are just as important as eliminating wrinkles. And the beautiful thing about metabolic healing and taking care of your body is you'll just start noticing those transformations just by supporting it with natural, living, active foods and good things. So our next couple product lines are going to be, raw meal replacement shakes and raw protein powders and herbal powders that you can add into your smoothies. We do some 7 and 21-day challenges to help people get kick-started and just taking their power back in their health. And I would say the future of where we're going is we are empowering men and women to take their power back in their health and to continue buying up land so that we can restore American farmers back to what was originally designed as well. It's all about taking everything back to origin, back to original design and skincare. There's so much to be discovered about living active nutrients for the skin. And so I love the current products we have, but we'll continue to develop more facial products and serums and things that are literally like, if you ask any of these ladies, they'll tell you stories about the blackberry leaf serum and women they've gone to every expert and they've been using creams and lotions and potions, and they start using the blackberry serum after 10 days of a spot being on their skin for years. It's, things start falling off their skin, and that's the beauty of nature. So I'd love to just open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions, be happy to answer those.
Yes, and if you all would like to unmute yourself and ask Jaime, we can try and do that. So, Jaime, I just wanted to ask you, besides just the products and all of that, I know that you have a real vision for helping families.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that can be a 30-minute conversation, but also just give your concise, just about your mission to empower families.
100%. Well, that's ultimately, it's the beauty of this model is to give help people take their power back in their wealth and in their health. And so we have ladies who have been able to do things that they were never able to do prior to having a second stream of income. And it's amazing to me how many professionals now are launching their own network marketing business because they see the value in having multiple streams of income. But ultimately, when we think about impact, we do what we do from a place of generosity, and because we believe that business is the number one way to solve the world's problems and to create impact. So what we've been able to do in helping rescue children from child trafficking, what we've been able to do in helping women even see their vision to adopt. If it's women and children and farmers, then that's where the vision lies as far as rescuing and helping. But every purchase fuels efforts to end child trafficking. And so that's a huge part of it. But the generosity, even for our field, as we're continuing to grow and build our data around how can we continue making what we're doing here better for our ambassadors, is always at the top of our radar.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions that you'd like to unmute and ask Jaime directly? You alluded to some coming products and nutritionals, and do you have anything else for us? Because we're always chomping at the bit about what comes out next. I have a full list for you.
You guys know me. I always end up sharing too much.
I know. Be very vague so you don't get in trouble.
Well, here's one key thing that I think is so amazing is, again, we're always looking to control more of our process. craft our own supplements in-house. So we just hired our very first in-house full-time formulator, who came from the biggest billion-dollar natural companies out there. And so he's come on board. It's a man. We have so many women that work for us. I'm like, we have a man working for us. But we're setting up shop, and we are starting to just, we're already talking CBD tinctures. We're talking all the powders and amazing things. But to have our own team that's going to start growing, his vision was to actually start his own supplement manufacturing company, but to come on board with us. And his vision is to build a team, because I was like, listen, we're going to go big time, and we are, we're growing fast, and we want to dominate. And so we're just attracting some of the best people out there that love doing what they do. And so it's a big deal. And it won't stop at supplements. I mean, having in-house formulators for all the home health and self products is going to be key, because up until now, I've primarily been, I've been 100% the skincare formulator, but in our supplements, we've partnered with a naturopathic team. But to be able to bring that in-house, it's all just so exciting.
That is amazing. So, and I want to be conscientious of everyone's time. I have told people you will not appreciate until we are another 5 years down the road that you had the opportunity to talk to Jaime Cross. And it's just like if I had had 20 years ago, the opportunity to talk to Steve Jobs or something. So she and her heart and vision. So if we don't have other questions, I want to be conscientious of the time. This will be posted in our different team chats. Jennifer and Samantha will have a recording of this, as well as my team. I'll be able to upload it in just a few minutes when it processes. And I cannot thank you enough all for being here. And again, to Jaime for her time, especially when I know that her family is probably chomping at the bit. And as you said, you're at a friend's house, so you are also traveling this week. This is how important, and this is the heart and the vision of our company leader, is that she pours back into her alchemists and her customers and those people that are just looking at this for the first time. After you started, Jaime, we did have several people that came in and said that they are listening to your story for the first time. So it's always so compelling. So I appreciate that. And you can't always, while you're talking, read all the messages. So we want to thank everyone for being here, and just kudos to Jaime Cross for taking the time to share with us. And we will all see you soon, unless Jaime, you have anything else that you want to share.
I just love you guys. Love you so much.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you, and have a fantastic evening.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.